we have a super exciting video for you guys. We're going to be doing 7 creative gimbal shot ideas, and we're not holding back on this one. We're going for some pretty crazy and outlandish ideas, some that you probably shouldn't even try at home because they might be dangerous. So we're going all out, not holding back. We are going to be using the brand new Zion GIMBAL 2. This is hands down my favorite gimbal I've ever used. It has some amazing features that I've never seen in a gimbal before. First off being that it has a built-in monitor, which is absolutely insane. It also just has a really nice ergonomic design with this like pistol grip. You got the joystick over here for controlling a record button right at your thumb and the trigger on front. I'm going to show you guys a couple other cool little things about this gimbal as we go on, but this thing is an absolute beast and I couldn't pick a better gimbal to use for creating this video or any videos that I'm going to be using gimbals for. So let's get into our first shot, and then towards the end of the video I'm actually going to put all the shots together and show you how they can work to create a cinematic sequence. So let's get to the first one because the first one's going to be a little crazy. So let's go. Jumping straight into it with our first shot, and definitely the sketchiest shot of all. I don't recommend trying this at home, and we had like this closed road to test it on, but basically what we did is we swapped over the gimbal onto the monopod so I could get a bit of an extended reach, because the idea for this one is I wanted to get it through the window of the bus as Hannah was driving and try and pull back from the window to reveal Hannah and her driving in that bus. A little bit of a tricky one, but after we practiced a few times, it was time to actually go for it. And the way that we were going to pull this off is we had to get the second car to drive at the exact same speed, and while I very safely hung out of the window, I managed to get the camera past Hannah into the other vehicle and quickly pull it out to reveal that shot. It was really a tricky one. It was hard to match the speed of the vehicles and try and coordinate everything. As you can see, when I was trying to get this shot, it was incredibly difficult to see any sort of monitor on my camera, and having the extra monitor on the GIMBAL 2 was an absolute lifesaver because I could flip that around all the way down and I could get a really good view of what my camera was seeing. But I think the end result was really, really awesome and definitely worth it. Just keep in mind, we did do this in a safe way, even though it might not seem like that, and definitely don't try this one at home. Shot 2 is going to be a jib shot, and basically what I wanted to do with this one is like kind of replicate what a jib shot would look like by keeping the gimbal on the monopod, and while I'm skateboarding along to get that movement of me moving forward to keep up with the van, I lifted the monopod from really down low all the way up, way above my head, to almost what seems like a drone style shot, but keeping that smooth and seamless motion between those two very different angles from each other. Again, using the monitor on the GIMBAL 2 while lifting it made sure that I had a really nice clear view of the shot that I was trying to capture. I think it has an awesome effect. It really reveals where we are. It shows the scene to the viewer and gives the viewer a really good idea of what's going on. Perfect establishing shot to really show the scene and environment where our video is taking place. Shot 3 is going to be a continuous shot. Now the idea for this one is that we were going to start off showing Hannah's face, really showing her driving the car and having that nice tight shot, keeping it all as one long flowing angle, one long continuous shot, following her as she stops that vehicle, gets out of the car, closes the door, walks around the front of the car and actually gets to the side door, opening it out and grabbing her surfboard and wetsuit, kind of like she's gonna start getting ready. Just really cramming a lot of our story into that one shot, and having the gimbal being able to smoothly track exactly how I want to move around the camera made it nice and easy to make sure that I could frame my shot exactly where and how I wanted it and keep it going in a really nice smooth way. To get that one long continuous shot was extremely beneficial. So this one turned out nice, very happy with it, and this is something that you guys can try on almost any scene and try and get that one long continuous shot. For shot 4, we were doing a bit of a FPV replica shot, and what we needed to do is swap back over onto the monopod, giving us that extended reach, because for this one, the idea was that we could start our shot way down here as the car was parked, and we could punch forward through the window, passing the camera over to Jason, who is the helper for all of these videos, and then get him to continue that shot going out the other side of the door, following Hannah as she's leaving. Now, people are not gonna really be sure how you might have accomplished this, because of course there's not a person gonna be going through that window with the camera. And we hid Jason just on the other side of the window, and the trickiest part with this one was just handing over that monopod and gimbal setup in a really smooth fashion without breaking our speed or momentum. He grabbed it really nicely and then followed Hannah out as she ran away into the distance. Super happy with this one. This one definitely took a couple tries to get right, but once we nailed it and we got a nice smooth handover between Jason and myself, we ended up with a really awesome and unique looking shot. Shot 5 is going to be a long lens tracking shot, and this is something that I've wanted to try for a while. If you've ever seen one of those angles from a helicopter or a vehicle where they have a massive camera rig with a very zoomed in lens, it creates an incredibly interesting look because of all that compression that is created, and you still have all of this crazy movement in the shot. Being able to replicate that with this tiny little gimbal is kind of mind-blowing, and I was so impressed by the stability of these shots that we're able to get. And I was shooting all of these shots at 75mm, which is a very zoomed in shot for a gimbal angle, and it turned out really cool. I did a wide one here that you can see the difference between, and if you take a look at this wide one, although it looks awesome, it is a completely different look from this completely zoomed in long lens one. And you could even cut these two next to each other and have that punch in like that. It works really well. So super impressed with the stability in this shot. Very happy with how this one turned out. Shot 6 is going to be the classic parallax shot where you basically have a punch in or a punch out. You add that digital zoom and it creates an incredibly interesting look where the subject and the background is kind of having this weird like space warp effect going on, and this like kind of shift. It's a really powerful shot, especially if you want to really draw the viewer's attention into maybe the focus of that subject, and to really show Hannah being focused and looking out at the waves before she runs out into the distance. This was the perfect shot for that scenario. The follow focus wheel on the side of the Weebill 2 is incredibly smooth and feels really well made, just like the rest of the gimbal. Shot 7, I'm gonna name this one a tracking whip shot. Again, definitely not the official name, but that's the one I'm going with for this one. Now, the idea was that we started out in front of Hannah, being a little bit zoomed in on the lens, and as she ran towards the camera, we had this fast whip of her going past the camera, and the camera stays on her on that very tight angle, and then she runs out into the distance again. Now, a pretty unique and crazy feature of the new Weebill 2 is that you can actually track subjects in the gimbal, and it will automatically keep your subject in the center of frame. We highlighted Hannah, as you can see, she becomes in that green box. You guys might have seen this in some sort of like drone products where you can track your subject. Being able to do this in your gimbal is an absolute game changer, and if you think of the possibilities with some solo filmmaking and being able to film yourself by putting your camera down and tracking yourself, it's a very powerful tool. I think in the end we nailed it, and all in all, I'm very happy with the outcome of this shot. That is gonna be it, guys. This gimbal is absolutely insane. Those are all the shots we're getting. Maybe don't try all of them at home because some of them are a little crazy, but get creative with it and you guys can tweak them a little bit as well. Let's see what video we're actually able to put together with our 7 shots with some music, editing techniques, and all that good stuff. is going to be it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found some of the shots interesting. I think they are really unique. I don't think I've really seen any shots like that. Remember that if you guys want to find out anything more about the Zhiyun Weebill 2, I'm going to leave it down in the description. This is a beast of a gimbal. Seriously, this is going to be the one I'm going to be using on all of my gimbal shoots from here on out. Absolutely love it. Some of the features are just like next level, stuff that I've never really seen on a gimbal before. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we will see you in the next one.
Peace.
Bye.